welcome back to another episode of I Am I. So I am off again this week. Actually, by the time you're watching this, I will be out in the wilderness somewhere, frolicking around in a loincloth and connecting to some great spirit or some shit like that. I'm off on a wilderness survival spiritual training course, some shit like that. I have no idea. I'm joining another cult. You know how I feel about cults. I love them, and I have to study them in order to be able to start my own. I have to see the inner workings of them all. So it means I have to infiltrate them and be able to get myself out, extract myself from them. It's fun. But it's actually really based in a lot of Native American philosophy and shamanism, and I don't know how weird it's going to get. But, this could be the last vlog ever. I may never come back. I may never return. And I may just be living with Stabbing Wolf or whatever. Or maybe as Stabbing Wolf in the middle of the woods. Anyway, so today I want to talk about tuning out to tuning out to tuna ratatouille. So tuning out to tune in, right? I would like to say this without judgment, but that's not going to happen. You know that. So I know a lot of us are just craving to get away from work. We're just trying to get away and we're trying to escape, right? And I understand that's the way the world has shown us a lot, that work is the enemy and we just want the reward. See, that's the issue, is we got to stop looking for just the reward. In actuality, the work is the reward. And if your work is not the reward, then you've got to dig in a little bit deeper. And there's a couple things. Maybe your relationship to the work, so working into a space of service and what you can offer in your work, and see what happens and how that changes it. But also deeper into yourself to understand what it is that you have to offer and what it is that your true purpose and your calling is in this space. And it's not easy. I guarantee me, I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy. And some people are like, well, we can't all just do what we love in this life. Well, if you have that fucking attitude, that's going to keep you there. It doesn't mean you don't have to do things that you don't want to do. Particularly, there's a lot of shit you don't want to do in order to do the things that you want to do, right? But it's also not just what you want to do, like be able to have 2 weeks to go sit on the beach in Tulum and drink a bunch of margaritas, which is fine if you want to do that, right? And there's a time and place for that, I guess. Not for me, but I'm not saying that you can't do that. But also remembering, if you've never been on a retreat, right? If you've never been on some sort of yoga retreat or a space of just a self-discovery and a self-journey, and even if it's just 3 days in Kripalu or something, or one of these places that have all these programs, these pre-built programs, it is so amazing. It can absolutely transform your life, And I think it's really important to tune out in order to tune in, to tune out of the frequency of the way the rest of the world is operating, right? And particularly, I'm looking forward to going into this wilderness survival training course to tune into nature, to tune into that frequency, away from this idea of what we think we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to operate, the system in which we're stuck operating in, right? And the rest of the world just kind of tells us that, and we just go into our programming rote every day into the car to get to the job, to make the money, to pay for the car, to get back home, to wake up, to get to the job, right? And this part of it is contradictory, because I'm telling you, like, of course, there's a lot of things that we don't want to do that we're going to have to do. And if my message, nobody's message is for everybody, right? So if this message isn't for you, if you're like, oh, that's fucking stupid, then don't fucking listen to it. But if you know that there's something deeper inside of yourself that you've been betraying, it's self-betrayal. And if you know, and if you start to do the work and you find out it's because there's some reason that you think that you're not enough, or that you're not worthy, or you're not going to be able to do it, you're not going to be able to handle it, right? Now there's all sorts of other circumstances too. There's kids and there's partners and all that kind of stuff. But that is part of the work, right? Eventually the work becomes the reward, right? It's stepping into the thick of it. Now, knowing your responsibilities. I'm not telling you to go be irresponsible and not take care of your kids or something like that. But I'm trying to understand and help you understand and not deny those deeper aspects of yourself, because it doesn't mean you have to leave all that and completely change your life. It might just mean you need to take a little bit of an excursion and learn to know what is right for you and what you need, right? And as you slowly start to do that, little by little, your life will slowly start to transform. It's not all at once. None of it is all at once. That's living in the mind that wants it now. That's that duality of the mind, right? So if we just start to take care of ourselves, as we start to tune out to tune into something deeper within ourselves. And that might require going away a little bit. You know, like, oh, I can't do that. I can't afford that. The whole thing is that everybody's fucking backwards. I can't find the time to meditate or do yoga. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I understand it. I'm not saying like, that's bullshit, it's an excuse. I totally understand it, right? But you've got to understand that we have to put this connection to self or something deeper or God or whatever you want to call it first. And when you work out the inner workings of your life, when you tune out to tune into something deeper, the outer workings start to fall into place. And it's not going to happen overnight, but you'll start to see transformation when you start to live more truthfully in who you are and getting deeper down into that space inside of yourself, right? And, you know, it's things like social media cleanse. I mean, that can be incredibly important because the social media is just a product of this society, which is, I'm not even damning society. It's a wonderful thing when we come back into it and we start to affect change and we start to move into the world and be an actor instead of a reactor. When we start to live consciously, we can be a part of this society, and it's the most powerful thing we could do is not run away and just live on a mountaintop, but maybe we need to retreat to get back deeper into that space a little bit and then come back so we can move into the world. We can move from that inward outward and affect change in this world as the sun comes out beaming. And I think that's my cue to go, because I got some shit to learn and an incredible experience to have this week. In Lakesha Lakin, I am you, you are me. I love you all. Namaste. What? Too much?